The fluorescent lights hummed softly above the aisles of Henderson's Market, casting their familiar glow across the polished floors. It was nearly closing time on a Tuesday evening, and the store had settled into its quiet rhythm. The last few customers wandered through the produce section, while cashiers began their end-of-shift routines. Marcus Henderson adjusted his simple blue polo shirt and straightened his name tag that read Mike Stock Associate. For 3 weeks, now, he had walked these floors not as the CEO of Henderson's Market chain, but as just another employee. His board of directors thought he was attending conferences in Europe. In reality, he was here, learning truths about his company that no boardroom presentation could ever reveal. The idea had struck him. During a particularly frustrating quarterly meeting, sales were declining, employee turnover was rising, and customer complaints were mounting. His executives offered charts and graphs, but Marcus sensed something deeper was wrong, something that could only be understood from the ground up. So he had quietly arranged this undercover assignment, complete with a false identity and work history. For 3 weeks, he had stocked shelves, cleaned floors, and observed. What he discovered troubled him deeply. The pressure from corporate demands had created a workplace where employees felt more like numbers than people. As Marcus wheeled a cart of returns toward the back of the store, he heard something that made him pause. Soft crying echoed from the employee break room. He hesitated, then gently pushed open the door. There, hunched over a small round table, sat Emma Chen, the newest cashier. Her shoulders shook with quiet sobs, and crumpled tissues surrounded her like fallen leaves. She had been hired just a week ago, and Marcus had noticed her genuine smile and patient way with difficult customers. "Emma," Marcus said softly, stepping inside, "are you okay?" She looked up quickly, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. Her face flushed with embarrassment. "Oh, Mike, I'm sorry. I didn't think anyone was back here." Marcus pulled out a chair and sat down across from her, his voice gentle. "Don't apologize. What's wrong? Maybe I can help." Emma's composure crumbled again. Fresh tears spilled down her cheeks as she struggled to find words. "It's my daughter," she whispered, "Lucy. She's 7, and she's been asking me every day when we can go to the zoo, like I promised. I keep telling her soon, but the truth is, ... Her voice broke. "The truth is, we can't afford it. I can barely afford groceries after paying rent and her school supplies." She pulled out her phone and showed Marcus a drawing. It was a child's sketch of 2 stick figures holding hands in front of cages filled with colorful animals. At the top, in careful 7-year-old handwriting, it said "Me and Mommy at the zoo." "She drew this for me yesterday," Emma continued, her voice thick with emotion. "She was so excited, telling me about all the animals she wants to see. The elephants, the giraffes, the penguins. She's been saving her allowance, all 57 cents of it, to help pay for tickets." Marcus felt his heart tighten. He had been so focused on profit margins and efficiency metrics that he had forgotten the human faces behind them. Emma wasn't just employee number 847. She was a mother, trying to give her daughter a simple joy that felt impossibly out of reach. "I work 2 jobs, Emma went on, staring at the drawing. "Here during the day, and cleaning offices at night. Lucy stays with my neighbor, Mrs. Rodriguez, who's kind enough not to charge me much. But even working 16-hour days, there's never enough left over for things like zoo visits or movies or the little treats that make childhood magical." She looked up at Marcus with eyes that held exhaustion and determination in equal measure. "I'm not complaining about the work. I'm grateful for this job. Everyone here has been so kind, especially Sarah in customer service and Tom from the deli. But sometimes I look at Lucy's hopeful face and I feel like I'm failing her, like I'm not the mother she deserves." Marcus sat in stunned silence. In his executive world, he dealt with numbers and strategies, quarterly reports and market projections. But this was real life. This was a hardworking mother whose love for her child was so deep that her perceived failures as a provider brought her to tears in an empty break room. "Emma," he said quietly, "you're not failing her. The fact that you care this much, that you work 2 jobs to provide for her, that shows exactly what kind of mother you are." She managed a weak smile. "Thank you, Mike, you're sweet. I just wish caring was enough to buy zoo tickets." That night, Marcus couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Emma's daughter's drawing, about 57 cents saved in a piggy bank, about a mother's quiet desperation. He thought about all the Emmas working in his stores across the country, all the children's dreams that hung in the balance of their parents' paychecks. The next morning, Marcus arrived at work earlier than usual. He had made some phone calls and pulled some strings, but he knew he had to be careful. Emma couldn't know who he really was. Not yet. He found Emma at her register, greeting the morning customers with the same warm smile, despite the pain he now knew she carried. During her break, he approached her casually. "Hey Emma, weird question, but do you know anything about the new employee recognition program?" She looked puzzled. "What program?" "Apparently, they're randomly selecting outstanding new employees for special rewards. Sarah from customer service just told me your name came up." It wasn't entirely a lie. He had spoken to Sarah, who confirmed that Emma was exceptional with customers. Emma's eyes widened. Really? What kind of reward? Marcus handed her an envelope. Zoo tickets. For you and your daughter. Plus a gift card for lunch there. Emma stared at the envelope as if it might disappear. This can't be real. It's real, Marcus said softly. You deserve it, Emma. And Lucy deserves her zoo day. Tears filled Emma's eyes, but these were different tears. These carried joy instead of despair. I can't believe it. Lucy is going to be so happy. She's going to think I'm magic. You are magic, Marcus said. You're a mother who works 2 jobs and still finds ways to smile at strangers all day. That's the most powerful magic there is. That evening, as Marcus finally prepared to reveal his true identity to his management team, he carried with him a child's drawing of stick figures at the zoo. It would remind him that behind every policy decision, every cost-cutting measure, every efficiency improvement, there were real people with real dreams. The changes he would implement would start with wages, but they would extend far beyond, because he had learned that a company's true value wasn't measured in quarterly profits, but in the tears of joy from a mother who could finally take her daughter to see the giraffes. And somewhere across town, a 7-year-old girl was counting 57 cents she could now spend on cotton candy instead.